Well, one of the things I enjoy about coming to the peace symposiums that the Ahmadi community holds is to listen to His Holiness. I always find him inspirational. I think tonight his message was even more important than ever. And I felt the way that he talked about the threat of ISIS in Iraq and Syria, and the way he showed that ISIS has nothing to do with the faith of Islam, I thought was extremely persuasive.
His Holiness gave a speech that was incredibly powerful, that set out all of the claims that violent groups like ISIS made and then totally demolished them in terms of what the Quran actually says. I think for a lot of people sat in the room, it helped them really understand what true Islam is actually about and how this message of peace is really at the heart of it.
Talk of His Holiness was not only important but most enlightening in quoting the Holy Quran in those verses that so clearly point out that Islam is a religion of peace, a religion of love, a religion that has nothing to do with violence or with something against justice and peace. So I have asked for the text because I want to quote it as much as possible, and I want to quote it correctly.
Well, I think one of the important things about the event today was the address of His Holiness, where he gave a very clear explanation of why the crisis with ISIS is completely un-Islamic. And that is very important to hear, because people don't necessarily hear that kind of detail. He went into detail about how in the Quran there could be no justification for the mentality, the mindset of people like ISIS. He also drew attention to the other factors, the funding of ISIS and the selfish interests of the Western powers historically.
I met the Caliph before at another function in the city a few months ago, and his message is always very consistent. One of the things people have to recognize, and the message is getting across, is the mere fact that we are all brothers and sisters.
The speech by His Holiness was superb. He didn't spare anybody. He said about ISIS, he was condemning them, but at the same time he emphasized that other organizations too have responsibility, those who are supporting them. So he wants there should be peace everywhere.
And Your Holiness, well, his speech was fantastic. There's a lot of undertone in there which made us all think when we go home and ask some serious questions about UK politics, but European politics as well. Because the question, I think, was she was saying, where are ISIS especially getting their funding from? And it begs a big question: where are they getting it from? And he was very clever in the way he came across on that point.
But the Holiness, I just thought, it's incredible, because all the things he was saying were going through my mind, and I could actually relate to nearly everything that he said, which actually I think probably surprised me for some reason. I don't know why. I just found it very, very moving. I'm really pleased I came. I can't say more than that.
I have been so inspired this evening by hearing His Holiness speak. It has been such a clear, cogent and powerful message. It has given an insight into Islam that I think everyone should have. It is such an important message he has for the world and for the British people to understand the true nature of Islam.
I think there's so much need in the world today for people of different faiths to come together and to talk and to build that respect of each other and our different faiths, and so it's been very special for me.
I was very impressed by your Khalifa's speech, and one of the messages I would like to say is I'd like to see more of that sort of message on the British media.